So I don't have an idea for an intro. I just want to tell you guys that it is very doable to make beats completely for free. I want to thank you guys for all the support you've been giving me lately. I really appreciate it. So here's the breakdown of my melody. You got an intro, everything highlighted in red is the hook, and then we have a long verse right in the middle. So it's just intro, hook, long verse, hook, and then a little outro that's sort of fading away. So for my first preset, I got this lead and flex. One thing I noticed about a lot of presets and flex is that whenever you layer them, they make their own cool, unique effects. And I found that this one made a really cool, sort of windy effect. Then what I did to this little melody is I added these effects here. I added the EQ to take out the highs and the lows and some whistling sounds. I added some deja vu, which is a free halftime, and I cut out about 70% of the effect, which gave it a sort of like counter melody effect going on in the background. I'll show you. I then added Memory by Cymatics, which kind of gives it a bit of a wavy, windy effect, and I cut out about 2/3 of the mix. Here's an example of the effect. I really like how the effects sounded, but I did not want it to overpower the melody. Finally, I just added some Fruity Filter and delay, just lowered the cutoff frequency just a little bit, and then lowered the wet on the delay. Next thing I did was I got this pad from Flex. And all I did was I made a simple chord like this one, just copied it over, brought it up 2, lowered this down by 1. That's all I did. Next, I just took some keys and I made some pretty low octave deep notes, where I kept one continuous note here and I did sort of like a repeating note right here. The final thing that I did is I went and got this lead from Flex, and because my main melody had this pattern where it's going down, I made a simple pattern going up to counter it. I then also just added a little bit of reverb and some EQ. And altogether, this is what you get. And for the drums, I used my free kickoff drum kit. Link below. It's completely free. I don't even think I asked for an email. I just want to give out a drum kit. Starting off with the kicks, this is the pattern that we got going on. The snare is just a basic snare pattern, with an occasional one squeezing in every now and then. And I added just a little bit of reverb. Next, I took a hi-hat from my Hi-Hat 101 MIDI kit. I don't remember which one it was, but this is how it sounds. You'll notice also that I have some gaps in between my hi-hats. Those are either to emphasize the snare or the kick. I also have some rolls that help lead into different parts of the melody and into different parts of the drum, such as the kicks or the snares. The great thing with the hi-hat MIDI is it's a lot of trial and error. There's so many to play with that you could just keep dragging them in until you find one that works, and this is one that I found that works. Next, just a simple open hat. I lowered the velocity on them a lot because I didn't want them to stand out too much. Next, we have our 808 pattern. So the notes that are highlighted are the ones that are layering the kicks. I have a little slide here because I didn't like how it just faded into nothing way before it hit the next 808, so I added a little bit of a slide just to help give it a dip into the next 808. It's subtle, but it's there. The 2 notes that I have highlighted red are layering the final kick before I have the kick roll. I then added repeating 808s after that kick to build up into the kick roll, which I also layered with an 808 to give my 808s that immediate cutoff effect. I decreased everything but the hold. This allows for no decay at the end of it, so it's just an immediate cutoff. I then added a crash, and a very quiet rim shot just before certain snares, just to add a little bit of bounce. I'm about to show you the preview in 1 second, but I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I just wanted to showcase that you can make beats without having to break your bank account. utilizing the free tools that FL Studios gives you or external free tools. While paid VSTs and plugins really do help, it's not a full necessity and you don't need to go breaking your bank account or feeling pressured to go get them. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want my drum kits, link below, and hopefully you enjoy the preview.
You're just so wavy.